All right, I'm going to give you some Showdown Slates help and sort of tutorial and basically a preview of what to watch and look for here for today. Because it's exciting to get in there and on DraftKings and do a quarter or a dollar mass multi-entry tournament and make them all different lineups. Some vastly different, some not so different from the other ones, just off by one player or off by a few players, so they can get all kinds of mixed and matched lineups, but you still want to get a good idea of where to be at and what to do. So with this first one here, getting right into it without delay, that's Miami going to visit Indianapolis. Could be an 8-point projected. Indiana being favored by, but the actual over under is 209, and then the Indiana. I don't see an official line yet as to Indiana by 1 right here, favored by. So there's a possibility this could go over that 1 point, but that's not really going to matter as far as what we're doing here. But just to be aware of it, with the possibility scripting sometimes of more of a not a blowout, but just a game at home where they win. So looking at the top plays overall, Sabonis. The pricing here, I can get it real quick. For this slate, 10,600. So that's what you're going to pay for him. And Malcolm Brogdon, if he plays, he's questionable right now at 9,400, projected at 33 points. Or Miles Turner, you can get him for 7,400 and getting you probably 30 points projection. If you go over to Miami side, something not really similar but different. Bam, you can get for 10-4, same, just about the same as Sabonis, giving you 34. He's got some excellent play going on down there in the front court. And then Jimmy Butler, 27, surprisingly, not as much projection for whatever reason today, and about the same price, 10-2. And then Justice Winslow, I don't know if he would play at all. Let me see here. Also questionable, so the possibility of getting a lot of value from him if he comes back and actually plays well. So you're going to watch this news as indicators throughout the day, and you can do that at Hoopball. Go to forums, drop down, go to the DFS Today thread. So what I got up here also is the Miami Heat. Looking at some plays here, depth chart as another quick rundown. Fantasy points per game, you can compare. For example, right here, it is set on DraftKings as well. He is possibly over here at projected at 43 points. So you're going to get some variance in projection models from different places. That's something you're just going to have. So you can look at these different models and try to get. Well, let me give you here first. While I'm here, you're going to need these value plays to mix it up and be different. Based on last time these two teams played, Miami and Indy as well. The guys that stood out on the cheaper end on today's slate, the very bottom dumpster guy is actually McDermott. I was just trying to get his first name. Doug McDermott. He came out in a game with Miami. At Miami and played 21 minutes and got 19.8 points. So if he has a chance of doing that again, his minutes have been falling off a little bit below 20 minutes, but so that's your real value option if you want to put all studs in your lineup at only 1,200. If you want to move up a little bit more, the next guy that give you an option here would be you'd have to move up to 3,600 with Justin Holiday. Justin Holiday did very well in the last game against them and had, let's see, 19 points in 30 minutes. So that's DraftKings fantasy points. And then you got options for Miami, of course. You can sort out between mix and match these guys here. Myers Leonard, Duncan Robinson, and Tyler Herro. So a lot of your lineups, I believe, will have those guys. You could also go TJ McConnell for some value too, getting 20 to 25 minutes right now, even getting up to 30 points. So actually some great value there, possibly in the tournament play. I could see him in a winning tournament play, Tyler McConnell. So sorry, I was looking on my phone and didn't have it on here. So you could at least view Indiana's. Let's see. Depth chart there. And I don't see it showing right now. It's going to show up later. But anyways, over here, we can look at, just scroll down to the Indiana. More detailed info anyway. Just didn't really need that team page to show up on my draft dashboard tool here. We got, here we go, all these guys showing. Not exactly popping with the matchup, but they are favored by a bit there. Keep in mind, you can definitely roll out some of these guys along with the Heat. Jeremy Lamb, I noticed playing well, so you can get good value projected out of him, 4.5. Justin Holiday, as I mentioned, you can get 5x. So look back as I'll give the final sort of indicators of what I'll do at Hoop Ball. Oops. I'll be on here posting at Hoop Ball initially throughout the day, the morning, and then in final locks probably 30 to 15 minutes even before the slate, just so that I can have final injury updates and statuses in the form right here. As I mentioned, where to go and find a DFS today. So, all right, so moving on here. Next one we got, as we've covered there, where to go basically in these matchups. We're going to next go to the next Showdown Slate. And we're going to get some good prices up in here. The next one, of course, is Chicago at New Orleans. That's at, instead of 7, that's at 8 p.m. So the previous one we got to get in early before 6, 6:30 to 6:45. And then trying to pull up you don't necessarily want to go a lot of times with the top option for captain as it works out, but a lot of times just go with a guy that can get you some kind of stuff to stat sheet, get you a lot of different stats in different categories, so you can build up points, a lot of points overall. Like last night, I noticed Triple J or Jaren Jackson did very well last night for Memphis, and LeBron James surprisingly came out, did very well last night in a showdown late with the Knicks, so that worked out well in certain spots there. So here we go, Chicago at New Orleans. We do have a 223 over-under. New Orleans favored by 5. That's fine. That's what it's projected at here as a total as well. Sometimes you get something different. Last night, this projection system was very accurate with the game as far as Memphis and forgot who they played last night. Yeah, the Memphis game. So that was very accurate. I think it was right on the number. So sometimes you can get that, of course, sometimes not. Okay, what matters really is just getting different lineups in there and mass multi-entry, like about 10 on Draftkings. Ingram, Ball, and Favors. So let me look at anything here that pops out with the prices. As I got them here, the most expensive is Levine, projected at 47. Compared to Ingram, get you close to that 46. 11, save you $400. You got Lonzo Ball. He can put up a lot of assists. 35 points projection, 9,800. You could go probably be pretty different. Go with Favors at 9,400. Looking at 33 points, he averages 28 points. And you got Markkanen, who's up and down this season, got some injury problems and so forth, but he's only 8,800, averages 29 points, get you 38 possibly points today, so you might go over that. Satoransky's at 25 points, average 27. It's about right for him. Price is fair, 8,400. So is there anybody looking at it doubtful or out that we can change, modify our lineups? Drew Holiday listed as questionable, actually out according to DraftKings. So we can anticipate once again, as we did well the other night in the showdown with Josh Hart, projected probably at 34 minutes, 15 points right here, 7 rebounds, should have a good game, especially at that value price. So maybe even look at him and put him in a couple captain spots on some of your lineups. Cody White, I like right here as well. He's in kind of a dark horse. He can put up a lot of points in a hurry. Not so much projection wise here, but we can see what he can do possibly later on that team. All right, so he's kind of really the guest to bench 6 guy. Looking at it in more detail here, real quick. Chicago Bulls with these guys here. Just got to get to the right. Scroll down. Just looking for anything that stands out to me real quick. Chris Dunn, some bench value. Can get you 4.8x on the regular slate. Of course, a lot of this is useful as well because you can play it on the regular slate, get some help with these particular games. For a full rundown and breakdown, just go to Hoop Ball. All sorts of things you can do. Of course, you can use this optimizer. You can go over to, by the way, I didn't go over it. We're going to do that at the end. Optimize all 3. See what we get. We don't want to make these too long here. Cody White's only 5,200, by the way. Josh Hart, comparatively, 4,800. So you definitely want to get those guys in there. As far as the cheap guys or the turds, you might say, Jackson Hayes, I want to see what he did last game here. Pull this down in New Orleans so you can see it. So you can see what I'm looking at. Here we go. Example of Jackson Hayes last time he came out. 19 points last game, 19 minutes, 17 points. So that's good for a great value at 2,200. Nikhil Alexander Walker, I used him last game in the showdown as well. I want to see what he did to give me some better numbers at only 1,400. Great value, of course. Just trying to pull up his name. Actually, I have it here. Right here, it shows 14 points. So he came out and did that. That's fine. 24% usage, if you notice right here, in the time he was on the court. So that's good. And any Chicago guys with to research a little bit more, I'll give you more suggestions later on. I'll tweet it out. You can follow me at Drew J. Gallagher. That's DREWJ Gallagher. You find me there. So, anyways, just moving on here. Let's go ahead to the next final showdown slate. It's Milwaukee and Golden State Warriors. You can always get some fun out of the Warriors with all those guys that come in and sometimes do well, sometimes not. Let's see if the over-under is here. Of course, Milwaukee's going to be favored by a lot, which will make over-under higher. I already anticipate before I even get here and look at it. But so let's see what it is. Let's roll. Let's go ahead and go to one of these teams that we need. Milwaukee. We want to fit Giannis in, right? So here's our Milwaukee guys, our studs like Middleton and Bledsoe. And then let's see what we get over here. Okay. are we? Here we go. It's a 220 over-under. Golden State plus 13.5. So that's about what's projected for. 12, 13-point win for the Milwaukee Bucks. I wouldn't see that going out of line too much, so you don't want to bet on that being much different there, okay? You can also come down here and later on they'll put up articles you can read about. As far as you can see all the line movements, of course. You can look at when they write about different writers. May just want to go there and cash and not mess around with that. If you do cash, showdown lineups, they got Draymond. Let's see if there's anybody, though, first is questionable or doubtful. Of course, the same guys here listed as questionable, out or doubtful, Russell and George Hill on the Milwaukee side. So look at and to pick up some extra minutes from the point. Let's find a point, make a sleeper here for Milwaukee as opposed to Hill. And that could be, let's see, Bledsoe. And who else would come in there and roll off the point? We got Frank Mason here. So if he comes off the bench, let's see what his price is real quick. Need to bring that slate up. Milwaukee at Golden State, probably $1,200, no doubt. So look out, 1,000. Could have given you the winning player right there. Not for a captain, of course, but so. Anyways, Golden State, same other guys though we usually play like in your regular slates, tournament or cash. Burks, Lee, Robinson, Paschal, Cauley-Stein. I really like. I play him a lot in tournaments on these mass multi-entry captain spots. And so we want to go in these places here to make sure we do well with that. And looking at Golden State, pretty much covered those guys, though. We know what to expect. And decent matchups, Milwaukee. Ranking doing well, though, against centers and like shooting guards. So you can take that, into consideration as you carefully craft your lineups. But let's go ahead now and wrap up these lineups that we'll potentially put out there. Notice I didn't watch any guys like I did the last time video. If you saw it, to really put it in there right now, we're gonna do a bit more research on there and everything. As far as different ways to go, work on the main slates, of course, and see what happens. We're gonna go over here, click on single game. So I'm giving you this early in the morning, so you have and see it. What's a potential optimized lineup for all three of these real quick, just to give you an idea what it could look like. Here's Miami, Indiana, letting it do its thing there. Coming out with Bam, Sabonis, Bam and an MVP. Nunn, Holiday, Harrow, and Jones, which I like. I didn't mention Jones. He's playing well, balling. So that's good. We can switch it over now to Chicago and New Orleans, see what we get just for now. Very early projections. Optimized at Brandon Ingram in the MVP. Redick, Dunn. Gafford, I'm not familiar with him. Honestly, don't know much about him. Maybe I'll just upgrade the ball. Okay, Hart and Kobe White. It looks good. And then for Milwaukee Golden State, optimizing at Giannis, Marquise Chris coming out and off the bench. Possibly Burks, Robinson we mentioned, Draymond if he plays, if he's good to go, and Ersan, Ilyasova, we can look at him. Maybe he'll get some more running option with George Hill out. So I like these lineups here. I'm not going to save any. I'm going to do more research, like I said, and put out some more stuff on the updates on the hoop ball. Also visit my site. That's at wealthyfantasyfootball.com, where I'll have also more of a breakdown of what's going on here. If you want to get into the playoffs and look at that and so forth, you can go ahead and do that. And you can just get in there and look at everything. I'll keep everybody updated as to what I'm doing daily. And this is a place to go, as I mentioned, Hoopball, to see where you want to go with all these different. Once in a while I'm on the podcasts, so you can find the DFS Today podcasts, um, or the forums. Go over there, or at least read about what's going on throughout the day. All right, take care now. Enjoy the Showdown Slates, and keep it rolling.